Well, this is Arthur's stone. It's a Neolithic burial chamber, approximately 5,000 years old, and it's located near Dalston in the county of Herefordshire, not far from the Wye. It consists of 9 of these upright stones, and with this great big capstone on top. Now, this one has never been excavated, but others in the area have been, and they've often been found to contain skeletal remains of groups of people with flint axes and things like that buried with them.
So Arthur's stone is not only one of the few prehistoric monuments of a very early age that you can see in Herefordshire, but it's also one of the few that's in the guardianship of English heritage and is protected not only in terms of it being noted as a monument, but also that they care for it and look after it, a bit like Longtown Castle nearby, just over by the Black Mountains there. But the fascinating thing about this is that its survival is very rare within Herefordshire. You won't find many Neolithic monuments of this kind that are surviving through the rest of the landscape. And the reason for that is that Herefordshire was very heavily populated in medieval times, and they seem to have used almost every square inch of the place for farming and for arable farming, and they seem to have removed a lot of the stones. So we have a few records relating to monuments like this up near Leominster and across over in the Ledbury area, but they don't survive as monuments. And so this is really quite a rare survival, and it's one of a group that extends right the way round the Black Mountains, all along the fringes of the Black Mountains, but also in very prominent locations as well. And of course, one of the things that is fascinating about this is the way it sits within the landscape and really makes use of the extraordinary location of this ridge and looking out towards the ridge of the Black Mountains. But its orientation is actually on a hill that's way over in Monmouthshire. And that hill is fascinating because it shares the same sort of profile of a number of these Neolithic long barrows, but it's higher at one end at the other. So it's almost as if they picked out a feature of the natural topography and echoed its form in the barrows that they were building and pointed towards that form as if to make a deliberate reference.
Well, moving away from Dalston and Arthurstone, this is a place called Trellock, which is above the River Wye, near to Landogo and Tintern with its abbey. And the village Trellock is named after these 3 stones, Tree being the Welsh for 3 and Lech being the Welsh for flat stone. But the stones are actually known as Harold's stones because legend has it that 3 of Harold's chieftains died here in battle. But the stones actually outdate Harold by at least 2,000 years because they've been here 3,500 years since the Bronze Age. There's another legend attached to these stones, and that concerns Jack of Kent and the devil, who were having a contest. And Jack of Kent jumped off the Sugarloaf Mountain near Abergavenny and landed on the Skirrid, where his footprint can still be seen to this day. But the devil was not impressed, and in a rage Jack of Kent hurled 3 stones from the Skirrid 13 miles to here in Trellock, and this is where they landed. Right, well, still in Trellock. This is the Virtuous Well, also known as St Anne's Well, and it's a place which has been a place of pilgrimage, well, until as late as the 17th century. People come here from everywhere to try and cure their ailments, particularly eye problems and women's problems. The water which flows in the well is said to flow underneath Harold stones.